Hello everybody, it's Travis versus Blinks in Time on Magic the Gathering Arena. Welcome everybody, hope you're having a good day. It is July, and something I had switched to June for a couple of years, Evergreen Month, but I went back and I looked back, and it turns out I had been making videos in June when I first came on board, but I didn't put anything out until July. And so I started off my channel with Evergreen Month, and I decided I should do the right thing and move it back to July. So that's why I didn't do Evergreen Month in June this year. And what Evergreen Month is for the new people, this was originally something since I was a new YouTuber. I was playing Magic the Gathering on Arena, which was only a couple of years old at the time. And I was hoping to design this kind of for newer users, new players of the game. So I said, let's go ahead and we'll focus on each of the mechanics. It's vigilance, first strike, double strike, that kind of thing. And we'll just make a deck that's overloaded with that mechanic, so we'll teach people this is what you can do with it. And they quit already. Well, that was a little too easy. They got rid of the one board wipe that I had, and they got a look at what cards I had drawn already. I guess we'll leave that in. Normally, I like to have a better match at the beginning. I'm always short on time, so I got to take what I got. Anyway, so I decided to make a deck out of Landfall. And Landfall technically is supposed to be officially, I believe, deciduous still. But what I'm basically suggesting is that the way that things have transpired is that Evergreen or Landfall is actually an Evergreen mechanic. Okay, so what Evergreen means is if you have a card that has like first strike on it, every expansion, every set that comes out is going to have first strike present, whether it's in a creature, whether it's in an instant spell, maybe both, that kind of thing. First strike is going to be in every expansion. Vigilance is going to be in every expansion. Flying is going to be in every expansion. When I came on board, they were doing Ikoria and they were doing Zendikar, and it was a return to Zendikar. It wasn't the first Zendikar expansion, but here on Arena they did a Zendikar expansion, and Landfall originated in Zendikar, and they brought the early days of the server, and we crashed the server with all the Landfall mechanics, and that's why we now have this limit of 250 tokens that you can generate. And that's the maximum number of tokens you can generate for a match of any one thing. And that's because we kept crashing the server because we could do all these infinite type things. So what they had eventually ended up doing, and they didn't do it right away, but they did it later, is Wizards decided that Landfall is deciduous. Deciduous is going to be in every expansion, but the developers and designers are not banned from using it. If somebody wants to make a Landfall card for an expansion, they can. So the problem with that is every expansion we've had, there's been a Landfall card. So de facto, it's not just deciduous, it's basically evergreen because the designers and developers can't help themselves. Landfall is something of an overpowered mechanic, and it allows them to make exciting, splashy cards. So here's what we decided to do. I'm not going to make an all-green Landfall deck because that would just be way too easy. But there's Landfall present in just about every color. So I didn't include a specific red Landfall card, although there is that one around. I think that's thanks to Foundations. But we start with Iridescent Vine Lasher from Bloomburrow. It has Offspring, so you pay 2 more mana and you can get a second token that's only 1/1. Whenever a land you control enters, the creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. I've got Gaia's Might is a little 1-drop instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each basic land type among lands you control. 2 Bloodghast. Creature can't block. It has haste as long as your opponent is down to 10 or less life. And it has Landfall, so whenever a land you control enters, you may return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Bring stuff back. 1 copy of Bristly Bill Spine Sower. This is one that everybody's using in Landfall. They usually have 4 copies. Whenever land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and then later for 5 mana you can double the number of counters on each creature you control. Dance of the Tumbleweaves. This is a spree card. For 3 mana, I can search my library for a basic land card or desert card, put it on the battlefield. If I have 5 mana, I can create an elemental creature token where X is the number of lands I control, and for 6 I can do both of those. 1 copy of Stonebrain, this is sort of a control feature if I think that I know what's in their deck, and I think it's gonna be a particular problem for me. I can go in and get that 1 card that I really don't want out of their way. This is Awaken the Woods, kind of a fun card to use with Landfall. Create X 1/1 Green Forest Dryad land creature tokens. They're affected by summoning things. They all count as land. So if I bring 4 of them out and Bristly Bill's out, that's 4 landfall triggers. So this can be a game-winning combination. I've got 1 board wipe here with Split Up, destroy all tapped or untapped creatures. Get to choose 1 or the other. I've got 2 of Expel the Intruders to choose a number between 0 and 10, and I can use that as my Dilate Yield board wipe. And for control, we have 4 other copies of Leyline Binding with Domain, so each basic land type that I have on my opponent's turn if I need to. That's basically all of the removal that I have, so that's only 7 cards. It's not a lot. I do have 1 Broken Wings if I want to get rid of a creature with flying or an artifact or enchantment. 3 copies of Mossborn Hydra. This is probably the main soldier in the deck. Gets +1/+1 counter when landfall happens. It enters with a +1 counter on it. You double the counters on it when a land enters, and it has trample. So this is a nice combination with Awaken the Woods. If I was going to make a mono green, I would just have 4 copies of Bristly Bill, 4 copies of Mossborn Hydra, and 4 copies of Awaken the Woods, and probably just a bunch of ramp. 2 copies of Nissa here. This is from the Flashback expansion, or Aftermath, I should say. So even Aftermath has landfall stuff in it. They couldn't help themselves. Like I said, every expansion has something. When a land you control enters, you get to add a mana of any color. If it's the second time, you actually reel the top of your card until you get to an elf or elemental card. We're not going to bother with that, but you get to put the card into your hand. 3 copies of Felidor Retreat from Foundations. This was a big one from the last Zendikar expansion. And whenever a land you control enters, you can either put counters on each creature and they gain vigilance temporarily, or you create a 2/2 white cat beast creature token. We have 1 Choco Seeker Paradise. This is from the latest expansion, Final Fantasy, and there's an entire landfall synergy strategy with the Final Fantasy cards. It's kind of irritating because it's kind of taken over the meta, and it's made the game boring for me in the last couple of weeks because I'd say 3 out of 4 opponents are playing these Choco Birds, but I put 1 in. Whenever 1 or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards from the top of your library, put them in your hand, then put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped. In the meantime, whatever land you control gets +1 till end of turn. I got 2 Ley Lines of the Guild Pack because I'm playing with 4 lands, 4 different land colors, and if it comes in my opening hand, it just goes right onto the battlefield, and then every non-land permanent is all colors, and all the lands I control are every basic land type, so I don't have to worry about fixing my mana. Elsworn Giant costs 5. It's 5/3 with. Whenever land enters, you get a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. Tatyava Benthic Druid also costs 5. It's 3/3. Whenever land enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. 1 Grappling Kraken. 5/6 Kraken. Whenever a land you control enters, you tap a target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. And then Primeval Bounty, which is an enchantment that has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 3. You can do so if you basically Primeval Bounty can possibly around if you've been losing and can instantly start your winning. Something good happens no matter what kind of spell you have. So if you cast a creature spell, you get a 3/3 green beast creature. You see the token to the right. If you cast a non-creature spell, you get 3 +1/+1 counters on a target creature you control. And then if you don't get a spell that's either a creature or a non-creature spell, you just get a land, right? And whenever land enters, you gain 3 life. I've got 1 little nice card here. You can play lands from your graveyard, which is good because I have 4 Fabled Passages and I have 4 Evolving Wilds, so I can get those back from the graveyard. And then I can play the other side, open the Forgotten Cellar for 5 spells from my graveyard for that turn. And that's about it. I don't have any special man lands this time. Just the Evolving Wilds and Fabled Passage, so you can trigger Landfall trigger twice in the same land. And let's just go in and see if anybody will hang around for another match. And I wonder if that first person left just because they're tired of facing Landfall too. It's made the game kind of stale a little bit, so oh, Leyline right out the gate. That's good. We'll take it. This means I'll go ahead and put one of these out now, because with black we expect removal, so go ahead, take it. We'll just get that cheap removal out of the way now. And the fun thing is, let me put Bloodghast out next. I usually don't have a lot of lower mana creatures, but in this one I have a few. So we can sort of run black out of ammo for the opponent. We got removal and counter spells. Are they going to be purely reactionary deck? Okay, choose non-creature, non-land. That spell was wasted on them. That did not help them at all. Okay, we get to bring our creature back, and we get to fully cost out this. We'll pay for everything. Do they have another counter spell? They have a removal, and they happen to have an exile removal, which is conveniently good for getting rid of a recurring threat that was going to happen. In the meantime, trigger, and sacrifice this, and we'll get an island in case they get rid of the Leyline somehow later. Trigger, and attack. In one turn, we got him down to 13.
I'll have this fight finished before brunch.
Let's get rid of the giants.
We all have things we'd rather forget.
Trigger. We're going to get this Benthic Druid out now so they don't make us discard it, and we'll get rid of Liliana as much as we can.
I'm gonna regret that.
Target. I'll get rid of the 1/1. They get rid of Liliana.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Well, they're discard, right? So there's no reason to hold on to any of our stuff. This is 6. We can do exactly 6. We'll do both of these. Auto pay. Let's go get a swamp. Goes onto the battlefield for another landfall trigger. And now we have a 7/7. That is exactly lethal unless they have a specific removal card. They do not. So this is sort of a case study in what can be bad if somebody's trying to do black and blue and they're focusing all on reactionary stuff. Oh, counter spells, removal, discard. You need to have a better attack plan than that. I mean, sometimes you can stall people out, but it was easy for us to run them out of ammunition. And that can happen all too often if that's really what you're focusing everything on. Okay, let's scry and see what else is under here. Fabled Passage, we'll take it. Which is worse, Leyline Axe or Buster Sword? I'm not sure. A second Buster Sword. So we got green, we got white. We need to get some blue in here. And let's just bring down Feladar's Retreat to start with. And they do nothing? They do nothing? Interesting. Alright. Let's try this. Play lands from the graveyard. Yeah, let's create a creature. Let's go get a land. Get 2 blue so I can afford the 2 for the Grappling Kraken. Let them waste all of their spells on my tokens. I view tokens with disdain normally. So, oh look, another token. The fact that I have this combination, I can play lands from the graveyard, I can get 2 creatures every single turn with Feladar's Retreat now. I mean, I don't even have to play stuff from my hand. I'm going to be throwing lands into the graveyard for fun. Let's bring down another creature. There we go. They should have figured out the landfall theme by now. I don't have 2 blue? Well, let's fix that. We're just going to plus up everybody. And then we'll go get the black. Survey says swamp. Thank you very much. We'll plus 1 again for everybody. Then we'll add the Bloodghast. And then we will attack. That's 15. I didn't even have to play lands from my graveyard. I could have opened up the Forgotten Cellar, but I don't have anything left in my graveyard. There's so much fun things we had to look forward to. We didn't even get to do them. It's very strange to me. I've been coming up against so much landfall. You would think people would be ready for it. This is not even the max-min landfall deck. The mono green or maybe green-red has some nice combination with landfall right now. I figured those are all over YouTube. I always figure that the very first idea or second idea I've had, other people have done at much bigger Magic YouTube channels than me. So I always try and be contrarian and put out something else that nobody else has done before. And at first I'm never sure if it's a good idea or a really bad deck idea. But this one's working pretty nice. We'll see what the Arena's AI engine puts me up against soon enough if I win too many times. I do like that that deck sleeve of the Planeswalker. Do we want to scry now? Not yet. Let's wait a second. That's got removal. I wonder if I can wait to put down the Vine Lasher. Dark Confident. They lose life? Okay. Let's just keep things going. They lose 3. I think this is a net deck. I don't think this is... I didn't look and see what Wizards is doing as far as... I'm not putting anything down. I did not look and see what Wizards is doing as far as releasing pre-release decks, so I don't know if this is something they put out or just something that people are copying. That's fine. We're just going to expel the interlopers and kill everybody. Nice little free land draw for them. We can turn that into a creature too eventually. That's not good for us. Down to 6. Alright. Let's see if this will help us. gross. That's a gross card. That's a gross card. That's a gross card. They just got a whole army out already. How do I deal with that? I guess we start with this. Bring this puppy down. Does color matter? 1, 2, 3. If I do this, I did it right. Then we sacrifice this. Go get the other blue. Trigger, trigger. Found an elemental. And I think we need to bring this down now just as a chump blocker. I can't afford to pay for the offspring cost. But hopefully they don't have too many... Oh, got that thing. I got so much stuff! Ouch. That's if we do it this way. Yeah, they had a nice fast deck, didn't they? We can do that. We can do this. And that's it. Oh, gross. They can just afford everything. Look at that perfect mana curve. They got exactly the lands they needed. I can go ahead and block this way, I guess. And the only thing that can save me is a board wipe, which I did not get. Trigger, trigger. And that's all that I can do. They got me. Lord Skitter did it because they have 3 of those. We'll go ahead and let this person play out. We got rid of an entire army, and they had enough land and enough cheap creatures. 3-3-1. They could just get to me with everything. Well, we knew we couldn't win all of them all the time, right? No, we don't want to lose to the first striker. We do want to get rid of Lord Skitter just out of sheer spite. And maybe that's my fault because I keep constructing decks with less than 8 pieces of removal in them. But you know what? You can go to any one of 100 Magic YouTube channels and see people putting in 12 to 20 pieces of removal and watch that stuff. I'm sure I'll be forced to climb that way eventually. With the power creep that's been going on, we might have to do that. I've got some interesting choices to make soon because we're going to have rotation coming up. lose access to some of my good cards. And the Final Fantasy has not grabbed me as much as I thought it would. There's been a lot of what the heck? I think we need to get ready for a board wipe early. Let's go get the planes. It's good practice since I have 2 of them. I've got more forest than anything else, so I shouldn't have a problem getting a forest soon. And that's all I need for Choco. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do nothing. The land starvation has begun. I already lost a game, Arena. You don't need to land starve me too. Not cool. The opponent, of course, gets their land draw. They probably have counter spells. They're probably bored. They're like, do something, opponent. They're tired of waiting around. Yay! Who needs 2 swamps? That's all I'm gonna do. If they kill it... What is this? Surveil. Get to copy stuff. And copy it twice. Let's see if they bother to block. They do not. So we will destroy all untapped creatures. And then we will end the turn. Kill my blood gas, please. That's 4. Oh, they're going to do a stock up. Okay, fine. You're all tapped out. We'll get rid of the flyer. They are not killing my Bloodghast. I keep expecting them to kill it. So then I can activate Fabled Passage and bring it back. Flying Haste. They get card draw out of that as well. That kind of sucks. And they get life gain. That's too good. Okay, I do need some more colors. Let's go get a swamp. See if they have a counter spell or something. Hello? Hello? They do! They have a full hand of cards. It's a control deck. Nice little way to recycle things. They don't bother with my Bloodghast at all. they didn't do anything with Shiko? That's weird. Well, if they have another counterspell, I'm dead. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to need that. I need some landfall triggers. And do they just have a third lightning strike? Oh, they can get it back. Legendary creature, they just get everything we got rid of, they just had extra. But we didn't quite get what we wanted. Arena gave them everything they wanted. Yeah, I don't know what to do about Landfall. I got really bored of facing Landfall decks. I didn't want to make the same Landfall decks I was facing. I didn't want to just play with a bunch of Choco Birds all day. I was looking forward to a break from Landfall by the time we were done with Zendikar. And then they just changed their minds and created this deciduous rule, and suddenly I'm facing Landfall all the time. And I don't exactly like the environment that much. I think the old idea for Magic the Gathering was that you would go ahead and you would change the environment and you would be able to do something different. And now it's like, you know what, I lived with Feladar's Retreat for so long, and now they just brought Feladar's Retreat back. And this could be a problem for us just because we don't have a lot of land yet. Technically, I guess they should take Broken Wings, so we can't get rid of the bat. There you go. Okay, we start by getting a Plains. Turn 3, we still haven't quite been able to do anything. Like a lot of my decks. Granted. Considering they have all this information on what cards are in my hand, I'm kind of slow. That's a lot of time to decide you're going to do nothing. Okay. Let's see. I think I don't have anything to do with Nissa on a landfall trigger, so let's put down the Hydra first. And if they kill it, they kill it. And we can't quite bump it up fast enough, right? But let's go get a swamp. It'll still, cut down will still work on it. So kind of not facing anything spectacularly new or innovative, just the bats and the cut downs like always. But at least it's not another landfall deck. Back to the discard stuff. They should probably take Feladar's Retreat. They seem to know what they're doing. Really cheap spells. 1 mana spells. Let's see if we can get past that. Okay, this is why I don't have a way to say thanks when they do that emoji. I'll do that. I think that's appropriately cheerful enough. You've gotten to see more of my deck than I've seen of yours. I like their name though, 1,000 Squirrels. Am I up against 1,000 Squirrels? Is that what's running the other deck here? Is that why you're taking so long? Okay, we're just going to bring out Bloodghast. Are they willing to accept this creature attacking them all the time and me being able to bring it back? No, they have another cut down easy enough. Yeah, okay. I did not ask for mercy, so we're okay. They get the demon right away. 3. All right. I think we just need to go ahead and get the land out now. Let's go ahead and get the other island just in case they have a way to get rid of the enchantments. We do need 2 blues out eventually. But we're dead in just a couple of turns here. They kind of had a nice curve, right? Removal and discard, and then they get their 6/6 out. And I can't get it, that 6/6 right now. And this was... I only have 3 copies of this in the deck, not 4, but getting 2 of these that close together in the opening draws, really not good for me. You really don't want 2 copies of this, you know, in your top 10 draws. That's really not a good shuffle. What are we doing? I lose 2 life from the draw too, right? Because they opened that up. Okay, this is what we needed. Arena did me a favor. Destroy all tapped creatures. They insist they like my deck. What can you do? What can you do against that? More removal? They go after the Bloodghast because that's the only target for their cut down. 3 cut downs already. That's okay, I don't have a land to bring it back, right? They have tons of removal, don't they? Everybody's using Soulstone Sanctuary. The one time I made a deck that I didn't have that kind of thing in it. And another... Oh, they just have another bat. That is not fair. That really isn't fair. That's a little messed up. Never mind. Arena's helping me out. Arena's looking out for me. Still not giving me a land for my landfall deck. There we go. This has to be more removal, right? Why would you do that? Shouldn't you have done that after? Bring that back. Do that. Get rid of this. I think it's okay to keep the nowhere to run out. I don't have any hexproof or ward. If they can get rid of this, they know I've got a duplicate in there already. Yet another removal card. They've got a lot of removal, and they're getting out very fast. Okay, now we're set. If they can't kill us this turn, they get my Leyline Binding. Maybe I spoke too soon. The third bat. That's pretty good. This has reach, though. Wait, they took the... Why did they take that? Out of everything they could have taken? They were supposed to take the binding. Why did they not take the binding? Why would you take a duplicate Leyline enchantment? What are they doing? And they don't take the giant... Are they... Do they want to lose? What is going on here? Are they letting me win on purpose? Because those were two mistakes. Now, since I have the Bloodghast, I'm using the Evolving Wilds and the Fabled Passages differently than I normally would because I'm saving them. I don't have a cost because since I have Leyline of the Guild Pact out, I can use them for any color mana in the meantime. As long as I have Elsworn Giant, I don't have a big problem with that. I want to do this. What if... What if we kill everybody? Then I trigger this. Bring back my creature, gain 3 life. Life is good. Finally got him down to 20. Ten more turns to go. 9 more to go and they're dead. What do you got? A 4th cut down. I feel embarrassed that they're still outlanding me on my landfall deck. Archfiend of the Dross. Sweet. We're going to wait and see what we get first. That's a fun card. And then we can do this and get rid of Archfiend of the Dross. And now we have an 8/7 Bloodghast. Life is good. Five lands. Triggers. A good conversation with the emotes. Hats off to 1,000 Squirrels. They didn't scoop either. They stayed in and let me deliver the kill shot, which most people don't do. So good opponent, good opponent. We're going to end there on a high note just because I love it when I get a good opponent like that who's there to have fun. Okay, this is the deck. We did pretty well. Stonebrain didn't make an appearance. We did get to use Dance of the Tumbleweeds once, though. Bloodghast kind of did really good in terms of earning their keep. And I hope this was a good deck that, first of all, it really displayed the landfall, showed how prevalent it is across all of the different expansions, right? We've got Brothers War, we've got Aftermath, we've got March of the Machines, we've got Foundations, we got Dominion, we got Bloomburrow. This is what I'm telling you. We got Duskmourn. Well, Duskmourn was the removal. Yeah, we've got They put a lot of Landfall stuff into Foundations, which surprised me. I would have preferred to get a break from Landfall, but actually this particular deck combination I put together, this was fun for me. It wasn't just the Choco Birds. It wasn't just Bristly Bill, followed by Mossborn Hydra, followed by Awake in the Woods. You know, there was a little bit of variety to it, so I wasn't chunking just 4 copies of the same massive, you know, mythic rare cards. And part of that's an intentional function because I don't have 4 copies of Awake in the Woods. I haven't burned those wild cards yet, and I'm a free-to-play account. So part of this I do is just to show the younger, newer players, hey, you don't need to have a massive account. You can just earn these by doing your daily 15 wins, get these cards as rewards, maybe in some pack openings, and build up your collection slowly over time. And you can still put hard, you know, of you know, either spending a lot of money or burning all of your mythic or wild cards to get 4 of this and 4 of this and 4 of this. The reason I did it this way is just to kind of show you like the combinations that you're not going to see every day. Like I can practically guarantee you have not seen Primeval Bounty and Bloodghast used together in that fashion yet, right? Anywhere else. If you have, leave a comment and let me know, because that means there's somebody else out there that thinks they'll see some of their content. But we do encourage you to go ahead and spread the word about me. You know, copy one of our playlist links and send it to everybody that you know that plays Magic, and like and subscribe and all that kind of good interaction to help continue to build the community. We're going to leave it there for now. Let me know if you have any questions on the deck, or if you take it out and take it for a run yourself if you're having any fun with it. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.